You're a U.S. Senator. I assume you know lots of stuff that we don't. What's your take on Russia, Ukraine, and the Biden administration's reaction to this point?
Russia has been going after Ukraine for 8 years, and they will continue to go after the Ukraine as long as they can. The only way to address it long term is to go straight at the Russian economy. Ronald Reagan did it back when he was president by having the Saudi Arabians flood the world with cheap oil, collapse the price of oil, which meant that the Soviet Union did not make money off of pumping it. It collapsed their economy, collapsed their war machine. The USSR broke up.
Pardon me just a second. Is it safe to assume that Joe Biden's that smart?
Nope.
I got my doubts.
Nope. Substitute natural gas for oil, and you've got today's Russian economy. That's how they float their boat, fund their war machine, and Joe Biden's doing everything he can to impede U.S. domestic energy production. We're paying more at the pump, we're paying more in general, but also we don't have the same amount to ship overseas to help thwart the Russian economy, to keep them from having the money to fund their invasion of Ukraine. That's the long-term strategy we need. Biden does not have that.
When the president goes on TV yesterday, when he looks the American people directly in the eye and he says, I will do everything I can to reduce the energy costs for Americans. My words, not necessarily yours. Pile on if you want. My sense was the president looked at me yesterday and lied.
My sense is your sense. This week, they put out regulations which make it harder to develop U.S. domestic energy resources, which, by the way, we do it in a healthier and safer fashion than anyone else in the world. So it's not as if he's doing some favor for the world's environment. When we have to buy it from elsewhere and bring it here, it's worse for the world's environment. Not only was he not telling the truth, he's actually harming the environment, the thing he claims that he cares about as well.
From a strategic point of view, what do you see happening in that part of the world over the next, say, 14 to 28 days?
I think the Russians are going to gauge what the response is, and they're going to see what else they can get away with. They want to keep on taking bites at the eastern Ukraine. Now, on the one hand, they've got a perspective. They don't want NATO tanks on their border. We wouldn't want Russian tanks on the U.S.-Mexican border. On the other hand, the way they're going about establishing their point is totally wrong, and they've got to be pushed back. I'm hoping the Germans saying they're not going to buy as much Russian natural gas goes back to what we discussed earlier, put the point of the spear on their economy, and maybe they begin to back down.